Frank Ehrhardt, John R. Wood Properties, Christies International. Welcome to the January 2026 market update for Southwest Florida real estate. For the month, median sales price was down 4% at 350,000. Number of units sold for Cape Coral, we sold 336 units this month, and that's up about 10% from last year. So we are seeing an increase in activity over last year. Currently, the number of active listings that we have is 3,834. And good news, that's down about 18% from the prior year. That leaves us months of inventory of about 11 months. Last year, we were sitting at 15 months. So we are starting to see a stabilization in the market. Median days to sell was 48, and that was 51 a year ago. My outlook for Cape Coral, inventory is down from last year. That's a good sign. We are starting to see an increase in activity on the buyer side. We're hopeful that the bitter cold and snow that's experienced across most of the country over the last week or two will help spur buyer activity down here. The median sales price was $350,000. That's down about 8% for Fort Myers. So we're still seeing some downward pressure on pricing. Number of units sold was 320. That's exactly the same as the activity last year. So activity identical to the prior year. Active listings, we've got 4,197 active listings, and that's down about 13% from the prior year. So good news that there's not as much inventory on the market. That should lead to a little bit more stabilized market for Fort Myers. Months of inventory, we still have 13 months of inventory, solidly in a buyer's market. And the median days to sell is 43. I think what happened is, and that's versus 58 a year ago. I think a lot of people took their homes off the market for December and maybe have not put them back on yet. So my outlook for Fort Myers, the cold and snow that has been experienced across most of the country this past month will hopefully spur some buyer activity. As I said, it's still solidly in a buyer's market. I still think we're going to see some downward pressure on pricing in Fort Myers. For the month, the median sales price was $670,000. That's down about 4% from the prior year. Number of units sold on Fort Myers Beach, we sold 24, and that's up from 16 a year ago. Active number of listings on the beach, 604, so that's up from 569 a year ago. There's a lot of inventory to choose from if you're a buyer right now. We currently have 25 months of inventory, solidly in a buyer's market. That's a 2-year supply, but down from last year, which was a 3-year supply. Number of days to sell was 87 versus 70 a year ago. So my outlook for Fort Myers Beach, there's a lot of inventory to choose from. Buyers are very selective. There's not other than the cold that they've experienced recently up north, there's not a lot of motivation for them to make purchases right now. A lot of them are sitting on the sidelines waiting to see if the prices are going to go down. So I still think we're going to see some downward pressure on Fort Myers Beach this year. Median sales price for Sandcap was $979,000. That's down about 11% from the prior year. Number of sales that we had was 21 versus 13 a year ago. So an increase in activity on Sandcap. Number of active listings are up. It's 613 currently versus 522 a year ago. And that leaves us with a 29-month supply of inventory, and that's down from a 40-month supply a year ago. So again, solidly in a buyer's market over on Sandcap. Current time on market, about 92. Last year was 17, so there's some anomaly that occurred last year. So my outlook for Sandcap, the tourism industry is down. So we're missing a lot of the Europeans, we're missing a lot of the Canadians, and it's been cold down here for the last week or so. So we should see 70s again this week. I actually drove over to Sanibel yesterday, midday, and there was no traffic at all getting there. So good news, didn't take me that long to get there. Bad news, we really could use some tourists out here. Thanks for watching the January 2026 market update. I've been one of the top real estate agents here in Southwest Florida for the last 14 years. If I can help you buy or sell in Southwest Florida, please reach out to me. My contact information is below.